everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of Hashtag Shout, the weekly debate / discussion show. We talk about everything, including what's in the news and what's on our minds. This week is a little bit different, as I, Steve John C13, will be hosting the show on my own. The reason for this is Geek King is currently occupied with other things, and the Lone Walker one is not feeling very well, so I should be taking the reins of the show just for this week. And then next week, the Lone Walker one will be taking his turn to host the show on his own as well. Very interesting times. The first thing to discuss on the show is the absence. Yes, as you guys may know, the last episode of Hashtag Shout was posted on the 14th of August. Oh, and I've got messages on my phone already. Yes, the 14th of August was the last episode of the show. We've been gone since then. The reason being, YouTube's the way YouTube's been handled by Google has caused some issues. So I'm going to take a quick time to discuss that. A lot of you who are on YouTube may be aware that the YouTube have been trying to get people to use their real names for their YouTube accounts, and it kept leading to annoying situations where they would constantly throw up a pop-up message asking you to upgrade in their fucking terms, and it would always get in the way. Then what YouTube did was say, well, you can now keep the username you have, but simply create a different Google Plus page or profile for it. And so that's what we did. What I did was I took the Wandering Angel and turned it into the Wandering Angel Productions to create its own Google page, and immediately it took away the banner, it took away the avatar, which it won't let me replace at the moment, and immediately slapped a ton of content ID claims on a lot of videos, a lot of which were undeserving as well. In fact, I would dare say there was maybe 2-3 videos that I could see their point on. In the most part, I've had to delete the videos because they're just not paying attention. I have contested some, but a lot of them I've simply deleted because I needed to get the access to my account. We had an episode 25 recorded, and it was in our it was on the private waiting to be made public, but it wouldn't let us make it public because of the content ID clips, which took away our right to upload videos over 15 minutes. We're back in good standing because I deleted videos I shouldn't have to delete, and we are now back to normal. So what's happened is the Wandering Angel Productions is back on track. We're still going to be doing Shout and Total Markout, as well as some other shows you may have seen. On the Sofa debuted, or rather re-debuted this week. And plus there'll be some other shows coming in the near future. We're not going to be announcing anything just yet because we're still trying to work out what we're going to do and how we want to do it. Also, in other news, I myself personally have got my own YouTube account, SteveJones313, where I'll be uploading my own little shows which aren't quite ready for the Wandering Angel Productions, things like House of Hoaxes, where I look at some of the big rumours, urban legends, myths, and played out bullshit going around the social medias these days, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, and all that jazz, as well as my vlogs and all that jazz. But to get more information about that, you can simply go over to that channel and learn more. Other things that will be happening with the Wandering Angel Productions is we are getting a new icon made by a wonderful guy by the name of Magic Tablet Skittles, who's also the first guest on the sofa. He has kindly agreed to do the icon for the channel, so we'll be up to date with that. If bear with me a quick second, I'll just take a quick sip. Got Levine Brew. Not that they sponsor us, they should. But so there is going to be some upgrades made soon. We're also going to be looking at some 30-day challenges, some top 10 stuff that we can do for Shout the Show's Tumblr. And for anyone that's watching us on Shout the Show's YouTube page, we will continue to upload there. There's a bit of a catch-up that needs to be done with that. At the moment, it's just me that's looking after all the accounts. So, it's a bit of a handful, and I haven't had the greatest time recently. So I've been distracted from that. So, where's that put us? Well, it puts us here. We are back. We're still going to be doing shows. What we'd really like to do is to make the shows available as MP3 downloads. More specifically, we would like to do these as podcasts, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do for free. So I'm still looking at ways to do that. There was supposedly a way to be able to do that through WordPress, but it gets complicated when it comes to WordPress.org and WordPress.com, and then you have to have a special kind of account and blah, blah, blah. We are still looking for that, and preferably we would like to make shows specifically for podcasting, yet still make them available on YouTube as well. We will try to include some visuals where we can. We will try to include that, but mainly we are still looking into being just an audio show, something that you can listen to in the background whilst you're playing your games, working on your art, reading your books, whatever it is you guys do when you listen to the show. So today's episode, I'm going to be looking at some of the news that's caught my eye this week. I'm going to be talking about some topics that have getting me thinking. And plus, I'm going to try and take the opportunity to plug a couple of people I think you should be checking out. So let me start off with talking about a funny thing which happened on BBC News in the UK. I'm not sure how many people saw it, but the other day, Simon McCoy, who's a BBC News presenter, was trying to do a report on drunk tanks, and he had something on in his hand. He thought he was holding an iPad. What he was actually holding was a pack of A4 paper. And I will, at the risk of pissing off the YouTube gods, I shall bring up the video. So let me have a quick look here. Yeah, it was absolutely insane. As I didn't see it myself. I saw the story and then saw the video afterwards. There he goes. So I've got the video up here, 31 seconds.
Good morning and welcome to BBC News. Plans for privately run drunk tanks to tackle alcohol-fueled disorder have been backed by police chiefs. Under the proposals, drunk troublemakers will be taken to cells run by private firms and have to pay for it once they've sobered up. The Association of Chief Police Officers says problem drinking is on the increase and action is needed to deal with it. But the Police Federation, which represents rank-and-file officers, says the plan is neither a viable nor a long-term fix. This report from Graham Satchell.
Yeah, I mean, apparently what happened was he normally is working with a tablet, and when he went to grab his tablet and he just picked that up by mistake, but it was too late to do it because it was live news. He was about to go on air, so he just held the item to a news report. So a lot of people called in just to basically go, what the fuck is he doing? So there you go. Yeah. Another story that caught my attention. 3 teens brought a tablecloth, plates, cutlery, wine glasses and fake candles to enjoy their lunch at a branch of McDonald's in Kingston, South London. And then some surprisingly civilized teenagers were told to leave McDonald's after turning their fast food into fine dining. 3 teens brought a tablecloth, plates, cutlery, wine glasses and fake candles to enjoy the meal at a branch of McDonald's in Kingston, South London. Cameron Ford and Adam Wheeland were enjoying their meal when staff demanded that they leave the restaurant. The teenagers tweeted that they had been warned, leave or you're banned. Pictures up on the screen, as you can see. I'm doing a little bit of a slideshow with these pictures, so you can see through all of them. It is thought that their metal cutlery was the cause of the problem, although the boys remained confused at the upset. Adam tweeted, it was just a standard knives and forks. Clearly we were planning to take over the whole McDonald's, so they had to stop that. The boys were able to stay, however, when other customers and even other employees questioned the decision to kick them out. When asked why they decided to bring their dining extras, they joked, we just thought the place needed a bit of class. Cameron, Adam and another friend, William Peachy, all tweeted pictures of the surprisingly sophisticated meal, which soon went viral and have been retweeted thousands of times. But yeah, I mean, I don't get the problem. I mean, okay, you got to piss and argue about knives and forks. It's like, really? You know, if that's your major bone of contention, that they brought metal cutlery into a McDonald's, it's like that's the easy. But do you know the shit you've got in the kitchens? Two or three kids with some knives and forks, and you think they're going to take over McDonald's? Jesus fucking Christ, man! Don't sort your shit out, man. Right now, this is a story which is a lot more serious, and it highlights a big problem, I think, with a lot of the issues today. This story comes to us from Pittsburgh. So here we go. Margaret Mary Vojtko was a long-time adjunct professor of Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. Earlier this month, she died penniless. She may have an even greater effect in death than in life. Yesterday, Daniel Kovalik, a union official and friend of Vojtko, wrote an op-ed in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette relating the circumstances of the end of Vojtko's life. In short, she was afflicted with cancer and living in poverty in a crumbling home, in conditions so poor that a neighbor had called Adult Protective Services to help her. As a proud professional, she didn't want help and asked Kovalik to help get APS off her back. That same day, she fell dead of a heart attack. A sad story, but the reason that Volovik's tale of Vojtko's end has garnered so much attention is because it contrasts her poverty-stricken lifestyle with her quarter-century-long career as an adjunct professor at a major university. The story. This is from. This is. An excerpt here. As basic as it sounds, Margaret Mary, a 25-year professor, was not making ends meet. Even during the best of times, when she was teaching 3 classes a semester, and 2 during the summer, she was not even clearing $25,000 a year, and she received absolutely no healthcare benefits. Compare this with the salary of Duquesne's president, who makes more than $700,000 a year with full benefits. Meanwhile, in the past year, her teaching load had been reduced by the university to 1 class a semester, which meant she was making well below $10,000 a year. With huge out-of-pocket bills from UPMC for the cancer treatment, Margaret Mary was left in abject penury. She could no longer keep her electricity on in her home, which became uninhabitable during the winter. She therefore took to working at an Eaton Park at night and then trying to catch some sleep during the day at her office in Duquesne. When this was discovered by the university, the police were called in to eject her from the office. Still, despite her cancer and her poverty, she never missed a day of class. It's important to note that a Duquesne campus chaplain disputes the account. But allow me to go on with the report. By the way, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I'm going by how it's spelled, so I apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Duquesne, like many other schools, fought against the efforts of its adjunct professors to unionize. Adjunct professors often find it hard to get any public sympathy for their working conditions either. After all, they're professors, right? Everybody wants that job, right? But the case of Margaret Mary Vojtko highlights just how outrageous the salaries and economic conditions are for many of those who teach in some of our nation's most highly touted universities. Her case has already spawned a Twitter hashtag. Perhaps it could also shame some schools in treating adjunct professors like the professionals that they are. Now, this story comes from Hamilton Nolan, who works for Gawker.com. And I will leave a link to the counter-argument from the chaplain. Actually, let me see if I can bring it up here. Here it is. This was an update on 4:45 p.m. September 18th. In response to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's opinions column by Daniel Kovalik, posted online today, Duquesne University chaplain and director of campus ministry Daniel Walsh issued the following statement. I was incredulous after reading Daniel Kovalik's op-ed piece about Margaret Mary Vojtko. I knew Margaret Mary very well. When we learned of problems with the home, she was invited to live with us in the information community at Larval House on campus, where she resided for several weeks over the past year. Over the course of Margaret Mary's illness, I, along with other Spiritan priests, visited her with regularity. In addition, the university and the Spiritan priests of Duquesne offered several other types of assistance for her. Mr. Volkovic's use of an unfortunate death that serves an alternative gender is sadly exploitative and is made worse because its description of the circumstances bear no resemblance to reality. This is an ongoing story, which I shall leave the link to the main website, which is from duksm.com. there's a whole page dedicated to that, so I shall leave that in the comments below. But it's when you get this kind of a situation, it's kind of hard to know really what's the real story going on here. But the idea of the pay is what kind of concerns me. Now, it's very easy to start bitching and moaning about how footballers and American footballers and actors get paid millions and millions of dollars, whilst professions like teaching, firefighting, medical, police aren't paid as well, even though there's higher risk factors. And the problem with that is, and I think it's one of those big kind of subjects that really needs to be addressed and understood. And that is the fact that the reason why sports stars and movie stars make millions and millions of dollars is because it's what the public are paying. The public, the same people who go on and on and on about, the movie stars get paid, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, we're the ones buying the merchandise, the tickets, the DVDs, the hockey jerseys, all that stuff. And the reason that movie stars get paid is because we're investing all that money into it. It makes that money because of us. So there's that money to spend. And the more money they spend on certain players and certain actors and whatever, the more money they're likely to make off us. The same as cannot be said for teachers and emergency service personnel and stuff like that. Because it doesn't work the same way. You don't buy paraphernalia and attire and merchandise for teaching and emergency services and all that jazz, and you certainly don't spend hundreds of pounds or dollars on season tickets or whatever when it comes to these jobs. That is why. So the big problem is, ignoring that, why are these jobs not being paid a lot? Why is it that they get so little for doing so much? And I don't think we really have a good answer for that question. I mean, I'm not exactly a person that's very politically minded. I'm not an expert when it comes to economy. What I don't really get, why is it that jobs such as teaching, medical services, fire departments, why are they paid so little? Why is the funding not there? Surely with so much risk being put on the line, with so much being risked, so much being put on the line by these individuals who, for fire departments, it's the risk of burning to death, being crushed to death of falling buildings. When it comes to the police, it's being shot, it's being attacked, it's having your family put at risk. When it's medical personnel, it's dealing with the disease, the afflicted, becoming ill yourself, and the trauma of dealing with the responsibility of prolonging and protecting people's lives, and having the weight of responsibility of death on your shoulders when you can't save someone or you have to make the tough decision. The question I have is, why are they not paid so well? Why isn't the funding there for these people who do this job? And, ultimately, why is that? I mean, I can't, because you get these other jobs that are paid a lot of money, and the reason most jobs are paid a lot of money is because they make money. So is it purely because that these emergency services are non-profit, that they don't make money from the profession that they do? Therefore, the money isn't there to pay them back. If all of a sudden the police department, if all of a sudden the police department were generating a profit every year, would they start getting more pay because it's a money-making business? If that's the case, is that the case? Is it purely because your money increases the more money you can make for a business? And the question also is, should the government, whether we're dealing with the UK, whether we're dealing with America or whatever, should the government be putting more money into its emergency services and its teaching, like its schools and all jazz, to bulk up or increase the wages that are paid to those people? Is it time that the government sat down, re-looked at its economy and its budgets, and actually invested more money into these particular professions to increase the wages of those doing it? I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if that is a good idea. I think it sounds like a good idea to me, but who knows? You know, some people think that these things should be privatized, and then you'll start seeing improvements. Some people think that the government should be should be jumping in and getting it sorted. Who knows? But ultimately, it's not great. It doesn't make sense to me that these people aren't getting paid much when they're putting so much on the line. You know, but I can understand that when you are in a business of making money, like a solicitor or a lawyer, you know, you are making money for your company. So you're going to get paid money back. You know, the more money you can make for a company, the higher your pay rate goes. Simple. But it just seems unfair that these very important jobs that we rely on day in, day out get paid so little, you know? So, yeah, I mean, feel free to share your thoughts on that one. As I said, anything that's talked about on the show, please do feel free to leave your opinions in the comments section of YouTube, or feel free to send us a message on our Tumblr page, shouttheshow.com. You can visit our page there, and you can hit the submit button or hit ask us a question. So yeah, tell us what you think about that, guys. Moving on from that, going to talk about I'm just going to talk about some of the things that are going around on YouTube that I would love you guys to check out. You see, being that there's nobody here to make me shut the fuck up, I'm just going to talk about people on YouTube I definitely think you should be checking out. And some of these you might have heard of, some of these you may not have. If you're into your Let's Plays, there are two individuals I would highly recommend if you're into your Let's Plays. The first one is Mega GM Wolf. Mega GM Wolf, I believe he's also on Blister's Thumbs, which is part of the Channel Awesome group. Great stuff there, in my opinion. Mega GM Wolf, I'm just bringing up his page as we talk here. But Mega GM Wolf is how do I put this? He is a very, very positive individual who deals with all manner of different kinds of games. He doesn't stick to a particular niche. He's he's a fellow, I believe he's a fellow Brit like me, but he's currently sitting at 25,193 subscribers. You gotta admit that's pretty fucking impressive. I'm just trying to see if I can get a view count for him. And what can I get a view count? Apparently I can't. It's being evil and will not tell me his secrets. I want to know. Tell me what you know. Here he goes. 6,617,654 views. He's been on YouTube since the 15th of November 2008. Like I said, his videos are really good. My personal favourite out of all the ones he does is the Sonic Hack Showcase, where he looks at, if you've ever used emulators, there's a good Genesis emulator or Mega Drive for people who know what is that. And you can get the Sonic games for the emulators. The Sonic Hack Showcase is looking at people who have taken the Sonic games and modified them to create different versions of the game, sometimes brand new games entirely. It's a great series, definitely worth checking out. Looking at this, his most popular video to date is his Sonic.exe Mega G Wolf version, which was posted a year ago. It's got 233,986 views. This is based upon the creepypasta, which is Sonic.exe. If you're into scary shit like that and you're into Sonic the Hedgehog, definitely worth a look at. If you're not into that, then I would still suggest you check out his other stuff. He's also done the Minecraft games. The Minecraft mod, especially known for, is the Dragon Block C, which is basically a Dragon Ball Z mod made for Minecraft, where you play through the Dragon Ball Z sagas from Raditz all the way up to Cell. So he's done a Let's Play of that, really good. He's even done his own music video of Mining All Night, a Minecraft parody of Get Lucky by Daft Punk. A music video that was posted 3 months ago, 79,943 views. I actually own it as an MP3 as well, because it's fucking awesome. So yeah, I definitely recommend his channel. The other Let's Play I think you guys should be checking out pronto is Halloween 4545, a fellow Brit, and a Let's Play that deals with mainly horror games. Now, Halloween 4545 has 43,665 subscribers. And I have to say, Halloween 4545 might be one of the most genuine, kind-hearted, awesome, goodwill guys I've ever had the pleasure of chatting to. I've managed to speak to him on Twitter before. We've had a couple of conversations. His videos are brilliant. The first one I ever saw by him was the American McGee's Alice Let's Plays. He has also done Alice the Madness Returns. He's done Penumbra, Call of Cthulhu, Stalker. His most recent ones, he's just started the new Metro game. He also did the first Metro game as well. He's Eternal Darkness. So he's done a lot of games, and he's just funny. His catchphrases, his running gags, his energy, he really has a great approach to doing this, and he communicates with his fan base really well. He loves communicating with them, getting their opinions. And in many cases, where he can, he likes to give options to his fan base. So if there is a number of options you can take to give you a different game, like in the last game, Eternal Darkness, when you had a choice of going down the green path, blue path, red path, which changes the entire game itself, he just left that to the fans and said, yep, you guys pick it, we'll do whatever you want. He's definitely worth it, and also follow these guys on Twitter as well, because they're funny folk, especially Hellby for 505. He's a really funny guy on Twitter. So, and of course, obviously there's the Let's Play from the Achievement Hunter crew. Let's Play, part of the Rooster Teeth guys, 1,749,116 subscribers. And they had 132,328,176 views, joined January 10th, 2006, long before the Let's Play phenomenon hit. They have a schedule for videos they release. Obviously, if you've heard of Red vs. Blue, you have heard of Let's Play. Red vs. Blue, the comedy show based upon Halo, created by the likes of Betty Burns and Gus, and busy Rooster Teeth in charge of the show. Let's Play features the Achievement Hunter guys, including Gavin Frey, Michael, Jack, Jeff, Ray, who mainly do Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 4, though they will be doing Grand Theft Auto 5 now, and a whole host of other games. They are a ton of fun to watch. I love watching their videos. I stockpile them so I have stuff to keep me going throughout the week. I think without them, Halloween and Mega Wolf, I would go mad. So definitely be checking those channels out. Pronto, do not delay, go check them out. Other channels I would recommend you follow. Moving into the slightly lesser known category here. People may not be aware of something called ASMR. ASMR is what I consider a fucking lifesaver when it comes to my position. Basically, if you suffer from stress, insomnia, depression, stuff like that, you might find some relief in ASMR, which is known as autonomous sensory meridian response. And what autonomous sensory meridian response, or ASMR, is the best way I could describe it is: have you ever watched a movie or listened to a song and you felt a little tingle in the back of your neck? It felt nice. It was calming. That is ASMR. It's the idea of certain triggers creating a calming response in you. And the most effective version is something known as gentle whispering. So if you go onto YouTube, you'll find a lot of people do ASMR, and a lot of people may be thinking, "Oh, well, sweet." Trust me, when I first heard of ASMR, I thought it was fucking weird. But I will try almost everything once, and I tried it, and it helps me a fuck ton. Two people I would recommend highly. There's the One Lilium, and there is Veni Vidi Vulpes. Being honest, I would recommend Veni Vidi Vulpes over the One Lilium. It's a personal preference, but I'll tell you why. These two are really good at getting what ASMR is all about. It's all about trying to, get you calm, relaxed, kind of take you out of reality for a while and de-stress you, and in some cases even help you sleep or meditate. I think Veni Vidi Vulpes does a better job of this, and she doesn't really ask for anything in return. She does have her PayPal available information you want to donate. I've never donated to anybody on YouTube as far as I'm aware. I've donated to like fundraising live streams and stuff, but what's great about it is she has that, but she's never asked for anything. The One Lilium is good at what she does. However, she does kind of do other stuff as well. She charges for, and I don't know. It just seems like I think she kind of tries too hard sometimes. But that's just my personal opinion, and I would definitely check them out. If you're into your art, this is a big list. If you are into your art, there's a lot of people I can recommend for you. I can't spend the entire show recommending them. So what I'll do is I will simply say, if you stay tuned on the Wandering Angel Productions channel, there will be a video coming out within the next few weeks, I hope, which will be an artists special, where I will be sharing with you guys a lot of artists I think you should be following on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. I promise you these people are definitely worth it. Some other people you may not have heard of, which I definitely think you should be checking out. Marble Hornets, the ongoing horror story about a couple of guys who were making a movie, and it all went terribly fucking wrong. And our main villain appears to be our old friend Slendy. It's been going on for quite a while. Just jumping onto their YouTube page here. We are currently on to entry 76. And they so far have 333,644 subscribers and 66,407,473 views. Joined 18th of June 2009. What I love about Marble Hornets is that they also are on Twitter, but they use Twitter as part of the story. So they don't go on Twitter and go, "Hey, look, it's a brand new episode. Go check it out. We work hard." No, they use it to further the story, which is simple but smart at the same time. If you are of a nervous disposition, watch it during the day with curtains open. If you enjoy the scare, watch it at night time with closed curtains, and then you'll be turning your lights on and opening your curtains and never going to sleep ever again. And the last people I'm going to plug on this episode, because I don't want to spend all episode plugging people, please do check out the Slow Mo guys. Dan the Man and Gavin Free. Gavin Free you may remember from Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth. Using phantom cameras and other technology, they show you things in super slow motion in high HD. The most popular video being trying to burst a 6-foot water balloon. It is funny as hell. Definitely check out the videos. It is funny. The stuff they do is really cool and funny and awesome. 2,635,322 subscribers, and 263,328,746 views. Joined August 15, 2010. Definitely worth it. Funny stuff. So yeah, those are some people I think you should be checking out on YouTube. With all that out of the way, what is there to talk about this week as we hit around about 36-minute marker here? Well, I kind of want to have a bit more of a bitch about Google, because Google have fucking pissed me off. You see, Google bought YouTube a long time ago, and it was fine, it was cool. I mean, Google was a good company. Nobody had any real problems with Google. They didn't do anything, they didn't do anything to piss anybody off. They seemed like a safe kind of company. And then they announced one day that they were going to create a new social media site called Google+. Now, Google+ was founded in 2011, and it was supposed to be the thing which overtook Facebook. It was going to dominate Facebook, and it was going to be the new thing, the rage in social media. The reason being, at the time, Facebook was getting a lot of bad press over timeline, over various security issues and privacy issues. Everyone was bitching about Facebook, but yet again, when are people not bitching about Facebook? So Google Plus was meant to be a jump, and I signed up for that shit thinking it might be. Google Plus is a pile of shit. There's no denying that. Google Plus is a useless pile of shit. I mean, here's the thing. It's the second largest social networking site in the world. And it's because it surpassed Twitter in 2013. And it has approximately 359 million active users. And in May 2013, it announced that it had a total of 500 million registered users. But 235 million are active in a given month. Here's the problem. The reason it has so many active people on it and so many registered accounts is because Google decided that seeing as it owned YouTube, it was going to merge Google Plus with YouTube, to the point where you now have to have a Google Plus account to use YouTube. And here's the thing, everyone uses YouTube. Everyone. So if you want to be on YouTube, if you want a YouTube account, you have to have a Google Plus page. Well, shit, son. You know what I mean? Of course, then Google's going to be the second largest social networking site if you are forcing people to join it. I mean, if Facebook had gotten the YouTube deal before Google Plus, and then Google Plus tried to compete against it, they would have died before fucking opening. Because Facebook would be like, hey, if you want to have a YouTube account, you got to be on Facebook. It's an easy trick. It's not difficult. But to say, or to try and boast that you're good because you have all these followers, which is basically something that you were trying, I mean, Google tried to call Facebook out, as well as everybody else was calling them out, because Facebook was saying we have millions of registered users. But as we all know, a lot of those would be defunct or bullshit accounts. But then Google is doing the same shit by saying, well, look how good Google Plus is. Google Plus must be awesome. Look at all our people. Yeah, you have all these registered users because people want to use fucking Facebook. People want to use, not Facebook, YouTube. People want to use YouTube You know, they want to watch videos, they want to like videos, they want to subscribe to people, they want to make videos. And you're busy saying, well, if you want to do that, you have to join Google Plus. Google Plus is a pile of shit. It is. You go to Google Plus, and you know, it's like, okay, it's Facebook without the advert. At one point, it was. You know, it's Facebook without all the invites. Are you shitting me? I get more invites on Google Plus from people I've never fucking heard of, let alone met. You know, but I get more invites on Google Plus for people I've never fucking heard of than I do from Facebook from games. That's right. I get less Facebook game invites than I do contact requests on Google Plus. When Google Plus is just like a never-ending scrolling bill. I mean, for what Google Plus is doing, allowing you to post things to share with people and keep in touch with people, we have something for that. It's called Tumblr. And Tumblr is far more efficient in that regard. Now, I know it doesn't have a Hangout feature, an Iron feature, or anything like that. I mean, we do have Babbler now, you know, but what is the purpose of Google Plus? I mean, before it was connected to your YouTube, you know, before it was connected to that, I was on it every day. Every time I posted a status update to Facebook, I uploaded it to Google Plus as well, thinking that one day I would be able to migrate from Facebook all the way over to Google Plus, that people would just naturally jump over. And then I just stopped because there was no point. There was nothing going on Google Plus. It just really wasn't. Just Google Plus being a pile of shit. There's nothing to it. There is no purpose to it. But of course, they'd solve that problem by basically saying, well, if you want to have a YouTube account, you got to be in Google Plus. The Google Plus website, it's plus.google.com. And then you'll obviously have to make an account if you don't have one. But if you imagine, they could have it so that when you log into that account or that address, it brings up a picture of a piece of shit. And they would still have the numbers because you have to have a Google Plus account to be on YouTube. To fucking boast that you have many registered users is pointless, because the only reason you're enjoying any success is because you are forcing people to do that. If Facebook could do that, you know, they would be boasting the numbers. Hell, any social media site would be doing that. Tumblr, Twitter, if they had the power to say, well, if you want a YouTube account, you have to have our account with us, they'd have the same numbers. It's not fucking rocket science. So what level of effort did Google put into their Google Plus? Well, none. Zilch. Nada. No effort. Because everything I see at Google Plus, I could do on Tumblr and better. And for keeping in contact with people, Facebook is a lot better. It just is. I mean, half the time with Google Plus, I'm looking around, it's just like, why is it? I'm on my Google Plus page, right? And I'm getting messages from people I've never met, never heard of. I don't get that on Facebook, you know? Because on Facebook, if I'm getting it, it's either because I know them or it's been shared by someone I know. No? On this guy, like a bunch of Jan Schellenberger, Basil Doringsfeld, Michael, you know, and I have friends and family on this. I click on the friends and family tabs. Nothing. Why? Because they're not using Google Plus. It's ridiculous. Google fucking Plus is pointless and serves no fucking purpose in the fucking universe, except to give you a YouTube account, which people already had before Google Plus, but now because Google Plus is decided to merge with YouTube so it can actually be of some fucking use, it's fucked everyone over. It's ridiculous. It's like, I understand why they do it, but they're pricks for doing it. It's like, you ask anybody, if are they happy that they did this? Has it been easy to? You will get one of two answers. One, I don't care, or two, it's been a fucking nightmare. Those are your two answers. You're not going to get anybody going, oh, I think it's fucking awesome. Unless they work for Google. Or YouTube, and by extension, then you're working for Google. But yes. Google Plus. Pile of shit. Anyway. Don't forget to leave your thoughts. What do you think of Google Plus and the whole situation? Leave it in the comments section or go to shouttheshow.com to leave your thoughts there. I'm going to finish off this particular episode by having a look at some of the questions we had on our Ask page. We've been away for quite a while. We have a stack of questions in our Ask box. So, just going to shouttheshow.com here, opening up the questions. I'll try to get through some of these as much as I can. So, a lot have been deleted. So, I'm going to deal with the last two here. The first question is, I was just curious about your thoughts on the casting of the 12th Doctor. The 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, is, in my opinion, a phenomenal actor. He's 55 years old. He's actually been in Doctor Who before as someone, like I said, no, century, like a high important character. Might have been Pontius. I don't know. But he was also in a lot of the thick of it, which is political kind of, I'm not sure what you call it, political drama or something, political comedy drama. He invented great terms such as fuckity bye and stuff. Peter Capaldi is a great actor. He can do a lot of stuff, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job as the next Doctor. I look forward to see what he can do. I know the Lone Walker 1 isn't really acquainted with his works. As for Geek King, Geek isn't a huge Doctor Who fan, but he's interested in seeing what it'll come out as. And the other question is, how did Geek King become a Geek King? Has he ever tried to defend his crown? He was begotten, not made, is the simple answer. Has he ever had to defend the crown? No, he's never had to defend the crown, but I hope to one day quiz him and see just how much of a geek he actually is. So there you go. Now, as I said, there was a short episode this week because I'm doing the show solo. However, next week it will be hosted by the Lone Walker 1, who will share you his rants and raves and opinions about things, and no doubt he'll be a far more angry individual than I will. Plus, he may be bringing you his tweets of the week. But, as I said, today we've covered some odd news. We've covered the pay of emergency services and teachers, which I still think is ridiculous. We've covered Google Plus, the atrocity that is Google Plus merging with YouTube, and how I hate them so fucking much. In the meantime, though, do please follow us on shouttheshow.com, which is our Tumblr page. And, all the links will be in the description of this video, but shouttheshow.com for our Tumblr page, and you can follow us individually on Twitter. I can be found at SteveJohn313, at the Lone Walker 1, and then geeking at Geek King. That's G33K_KNG. That's G33K_KNG. And the Lone Walker 1, as I said, the Lone Walker 1, that is Lone Walker number 1. And you can also follow my own personal YouTube at SteveJohn313, and the Lone Walker 1 can be found at the Lone Walker 1. And Geek King, though he hasn't uploaded any videos yet, can be found at I think it's Geek King. But anyway, the link will be in the description of the video. And of course, we are on Facebook for our Facebook page, facebook.com/shout the show. And you can also find us on Tumblr. But if you look at the credits of the video, you'll find all the stuff there. So, now that we've passed 15 minutes, let me just say thank you very much for listening to this return episode of Hashtag Shout. Look forward to next week's episode of seeing what Adam has to say about a lot of stuff. In the meantime, I'm off to record yet another video. This time for the Seizure C13 channel. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Until next time.